To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for—
That looks AI. Guys, dial it back a little bit. This was posted to Truth Social, no? Community account. Was this not posted to Truth Social? Yes, this was posted to Truth Social. Okay, enough with that.
For liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I know I've repeated this point multiple times, but as long as we're responding to this, it's worth pointing out again that Charlie Kirk has gleefully made fun of and disregarded and made light of assassinations and assassination attempts against Democrats and people on the left in the past. He's an unrepentant hate mongerer. He delights in the decay of Western civilization and of norms pertaining to debate, democracy, and free speech. He's in favor of the removal of habeas corpus. He wants people to be silenced without the ability to plead their case. He was a wretched person, and he contributed directly to the political instability that we are now all experiencing.
Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven.
I'm sure.
Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith.
He was a sneering contrarian who would deceptively edit videos of him getting his ass beat by college students over issues that he is factually incorrect about. His last words on Earth, without exaggeration, was deflecting from the fact that cisgender people commit the overwhelming majority of mass shootings by asking credulously whether or not we're counting gang violence. So basically his response to a question about whether trans people commit a disproportionate number of mass shootings was, okay, well, are we including the blacks? Let's deflect onto that. You know? Like the idea that he was ever interested in fair and open debate is laughable. No one actually believes this.
His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day.
Gotcha. Something that Charlie Kirk, of course, himself never engaged in, right?
After day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie.
Again, it's liberal fascism, right? Like the fascist response here and what they're thinking and what they want would be to call for a pogrom. But because again, everything in the universe is cucked, right? The liberal fascist attitude here instead is, how dare you, take away our fascist right to free speech and open debate? Can't we tone down the political, the political partisanship a bit? It's disingenuous, obviously, but like, it's so, I don't know. Can you imagine if the Nazis talked this way? I guess to an extent they did, because disingenuous appeal to liberal values is something fascists like doing, but certainly more so here than before.
To Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible.
Also, like, if Republicans don't like being compared to Nazis, then... First of all, inconsistent rhetoric. The right claims that the Nazis are on the left, and also that being a communist means that you support the likes of Joseph Stalin, and they call everyone on the left, including people like Chuck Schumer, a communist. So you can't say that the left engages in irresponsible rhetoric by comparing the right to Nazis, and then say the Nazis are left and also the left is Joseph Stalin. You can't do all of these things at once. Oh yeah, hold on. I have to play the fucking clip, man. After a lunatic with a hammer broke into Nancy Pelosi's home and attempted to assassinate her, instead viciously clubbed her husband.
I mean, I'm looking at Politico.com. I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm looking at all these places, and there's a little bit of mention here. For example, Politico says top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. Of course you should reject any link. Why is the Republican Party, why is the conservative movement to blame for gay schizophrenic nudists that are hemp jewelry makers breaking into somebody's home, or maybe not breaking into somebody's home? Why are we to blame for that exactly?
He's smiling.
And why is he still in jail? Why has he not been bailed out? By the way, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area,
he was a vile piece of shit who delights in murder. He loves suffering. He loves death. It's how he makes his money. Made his money. Sorry, I got to get used to the past tense. What has happened today is nothing more than a broad extension of what he advocates for.
wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. I bet his bail's like 30 or 40,000 bucks. Bail him out and then go ask him some questions. I wonder what his bail is. They're going after him with attempted murder, political assassination, all this sort of stuff. I'm not qualifying it. I think it's awful. It's not right.
He says, like, grinning, you know?
But why is it that in Chicago, you're able to commit murder and be out the next day? Why is it that you're able to trespass, second-degree murder, arson, threat of public official, cashless bail? This happens all over San Francisco, but if you go after the Pelosi's, oh, you're let out immediately.
Yeah. So again, just always keep this in mind. Never, ever, ever. I think that broadly, what happened today is bad because I don't like political instability. You know, accelerationism aside, I guess more of like a descriptive state of the world, like the only way out is through, the world is going to get worse before it gets better kind of way. I still don't like the world getting worse. And as I said earlier, in a good world, this shit would have been tamped down on years ago, and with Merrick Garland bringing the hammer of justice down on the entire Republican Party. Trump and every figure associated with January 6th for insurrection attempt, for treason, all of them. They should have spent the rest of their lives in jail. And I bet you then the entire right wouldn't have been given free leeway to engage in this behavior. The country would have been made more stable. Obviously, lawlessness is what happens if you indicate that you don't care about upholding the law. You let insurrection attempts stand? Jesus Christ, at least Hitler went to jail for the beer hall putsch. Nobody important got in trouble after January 6th.
For the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country.
This means absolutely nothing. This is what? The organizations that go after our judges? What, you mean the White House?
From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York.
Heard about this.
To the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others. Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship,
of brutality, violence, vigilantism, lawlessness, and cruelty. Yeah.
the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come.
Countless, Jesus Christ. I thought he was going to say countless years, which I still think would have been overselling it. But Charlie Kirk was a dirty little right-wing hitman. I mean, his job, he was literally a scoundrel of a political operative whose job was to try and scrape as many college students as possible into the right-wing pipeline. He was a piece of shit. Like, he did not have a resounding voice. He was not particularly charismatic or well-liked. He was just well-funded. Yeah, he's a right-wing pimp, you know, was. Generations is pushing it.
Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
You know, that's the big thing with people who are so massive in their martyrdom that their voice echoes for generations or whatever. You usually don't have to say it like prescriptively. Yeah. Honestly, again, liberal fascism, et cetera, et cetera. I'm surprised he's not like going after the Democrats here. I wonder why he isn't. Feels like this would be the time to do it, you know? Yeah, no crackdown promise, no big, like, again, never let a tragedy go to waste. He implied it? No. The organization's going after our judges. That's not... He had time to prepare this statement, too. Charlie also called for LGBT people to be stoned. Yeah, probably. He believed everything evil. It's not like you could just throw a pin at a dartboard of evil beliefs. You don't have to be specific.